today in the Mercury, got an air compressor in the back. Gonna air up the tires on my auction truck and do a little walk around video around it. So I'm gonna try not to get stuck here in my yard because it's a mess. I actually just moved my other truck down there, and I should have been rolling because the trailer jackknifed. The truck just slid down the hill in the muck and went sideways. Oh shit. Slippery. Definitely slippery. God, it is so slippery. I thought I was going into the trailer. Whew, slippery. There she is. Got some rollers on here because this one's leaking, which should be enough time to get it up to the driveway. It had these first gen Super Duty wheels on it when I got it, and it wouldn't move. And you can see the calipers were just scraping. They don't fit. Those are the big stupid exhaust tip. Those were the wheels that were on it. When I put these on there, these are 18-inch, those are 16s. And this one's leaking around the bead a little. But it's a King Ranch. Came with that sunroof, which I'm not the biggest fan of sunroofs in trucks, but whatever. Or in general. This quarter panel was pretty banged up. Got, you know, your typical dumb kid stickers in the back of a diesel truck, which, whatever, to each their own. Looks like it may have had some vent visors on it, but I got this truck cheap. I just got the title back for it and was able to get a plate on it, so it's legal. I bought it under the impression that it had a blown engine, because it's a 6.4, so there's lots of those out here. It's deleted. Looks like a newish set of turbos on it, maybe. And the fuel system on this thing was totally out. It cranked. I didn't see anything in the block, but this reservoir looked like absolute dookie. Yeah. It doesn't really smell like fuel, but man, it looks like crap. But somehow, some way, this thing ran. And I moved it down here. I put these wheels on it and moved it off my trailer. The fuel tank had a big hole in it. And I actually took a drain plug repair fitting that they just sell at the auto store and put it in the tank, and she hasn't leaked a drop. 5 gallons of fuel. I purged out the fuel system, and unbelievably it fired and sounded really good. So much for that. See, the back wheels barely turning. The drive shaft is spinning. So I got the hubs in. That one's not moving. That one's moving. So that tells me something is wrong with this hub. Well, man, I'll tell you what, I was more than excited when this thing fired up, and I looked into it. The engine light's just on because of some glow plug codes, but 261 on the odometer, and this thing runs so smooth. sunroof's leaking because that fuse box was all full of moisture, and I blew it out, put a fuse in it for the four-wheel drive, and the four-wheel drive is working. Well, the transfer case is anyway. I'm gonna have to tear apart that hub. 27. Looks like a newer hub on this side. So nice, these down south trucks, just everything comes apart great compared to the up north garbage. Oh yeah, and look, there is no guts. Whoever put this hub on either broke this hub and just slapped her on, or I don't know. But this was just for show. Okay, so I actually robbed one off my Fummins truck back there. But you can see this is what it's supposed to look like versus what I pulled out. And I had one laying around off an earlier model, like 99 to 04 truck, and unfortunately it's just not going to work. The splines, everything's just way different. How these work, when you turn this center section freewheels, and when you turn the knob, if we can get it to move, there we go, it moves this gear, which locks this whole assembly. That's all it does. Turn the U-joint now. Yes. There it is. And when I lock it, yep, can't turn the U-joint, so 100% we're gonna get all four now. I guess I'll put that cover back on my Fummins truck. I've done a few of these Fummins. This one was a 6-liter. I didn't personally do the whole swap. I bought it as an abandoned project and sorted it out, and I put a CM flatbed on it. I used to drive this truck to work, and it just made the best noises. There's no doubt in my mind, without a few fresh batteries or even mediocre batteries, that it won't fire up. Okay, let's put that on for show. But this truck, it's kind of crusty. Like, it's nice for up north standards, but down here it's not great. And you can see the difference. I mean, this is a 12 valve with a P pump that's turned up. And it's still an HX35 turbo I put on it. But it makes about 22 pounds of boost, and I mean, it smokes like a proper 12 valve should. But I'll put juice to it. I know that one battery's newish. It's probably due to be started anyway. This is for my grid heater. Oh, I got a new cluster for it too, because this one doesn't always work. But put a little heat in it. Breathe on the pedal. Oh. Look at that. Oh, there comes the cluster. I was thinking about it. Come on, cluster. There it is. But yeah, I got a new cluster down here. It's Canadian. It's in kilometers, but oh yes, just all the good redneck Cummins noises. Yeah, look at this air cleaner. It sucks it shut. That's on the list of stuff I need to replace. This could contribute to why this thing smokes so badly. It's just totally choking it. Like anytime it revs, like watch this air cleaner. just smothers the engine. Just anytime it revs, like this thing just chokes it. And the downpipe's leaking. That's why it's smoking here. This truck had a big China brand, like HX40 or 50 turbo on it. It was just junk. So I put a stock, just HX35 on it, and I had to make the pipe, and I didn't weld it great. But this truck would be killer with compounds. That's what I want to do with it. It's got the 5R110 transmission in it with a PCS controller, and I've never been happy with how it works. But I do have a 4R100 transmission that I want to swap into this thing. But this truck's pretty nice. I mean, it's Lariat, sunroof truck, which I've said I'm not wild about, but it's heated seats and they work. This one's got a rip. I could probably sew it. But everything works. Like, all the cruise. I don't know if it's gonna high idle today or not. I think because the PCS controllers on it, it does sound weird, but the cruise works going down the road, and it's even got AC. But God, it just sounds incredible. I love these. Anything with a 12 valve is just right up my alley. I did a 6.4 truck too. I swapped a 12 valve in. I could do a walk around on that truck one day, but I just tried to figure out all the little quirks and stuff. Some poor guy had this. This was his only truck, and he just gave up on it. It kept eating transmissions, and he paid some guy up north lots and lots of money to build a transmission. I tore it apart, and the billet converter, the seal, whoever welded the hub on, it was leaking out of the hub. Like, I don't know. I couldn't find a name on it. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was just a no-name China converter and it was just poor quality, because I've never had a converter, like a new converter, just leak out of the welds like that. But it did. Let's see, that truck over there, that big white beast, that is a 6.4, was a 6.4 truck. And I swapped a 12 valve in that too. And I built that truck from nothing. But enough about that. I don't have a 12 valve shirt on. I got a 6.4 shirt on, so we're gonna focus back on the 6.4. See if we make it up that slick, nasty hill. All right, here we go. Now, I know it doesn't look it, but this is slick. This is just soup. Try my best to keep momentum. Oh yeah. Like nothing. Okay, shut the four-wheel drive off, because I am not a driving in four-wheel drive on dry pavement kind of guy, unless you're doing one thing, which I'm going to demonstrate on this truck. So my compressor's pumping up, and I'm leaving this truck just idle. Sorry, Dave's Auto Center, I'm letting it idle, don't care. But you can see it's got big dumb exhaust on it. Someone put rock lights on it pretty poorly. But that quarter panel's good. Someone hacked the crap out of these fenders and the bumper pretty poorly. This one more so than the other side. Thinking he had some big goofy wheels on it, but I mean, come on, dude. I mean, this is a pretty nice truck. I don't know why you just whack the fenders like that, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. I was pretty surprised. I bought this truck thinking it had a popped engine. I was gonna part it out, you know, just get rid of the King Ranch interior. There we go. Get rid of the King Ranch interior and part out the frame and axles and core out the engine. I had like $1,700 bucks into this thing buying it. I mean, it sounds great. I haven't done this test yet. I mean, for 6.4, that's amazing. Aired up all 4 tires, and I think we're ready for a test drive. Oh yeah, look at it. Backup camera and everything.
Ooh, camera.
Backup camera. Let's see if we can get some good shots of the old truck here. Seems like it drives pretty good. You never know with these trucks from the auction. I mean, the bodies could be, you know, halfway disassembled and get a loose steering shaft or, you know, brakes or something. I looked at all that before I hit the road. Everything seemed good. So I think someone was driving this truck and either the bed got damaged and they took the wheels off it and insurance totaled it, or there's another problem that hasn't quite showed itself yet. But so far, so good. 6.4 horsepower is just unmatched with a tune. All right, we're gonna roll about 20, 25. And we can get going pretty quick. Okay, this is 2-wheel drive. Not even gonna boost it up, I'm just gonna hit it. Oh, I had one of these for work and not so much for play. Should have been the other way around. Let's see if we can smoke out the camera. Okay, so far, 6.4 is still running. No noticeable issues, no weird noises, no smoke out of places where there shouldn't be, so we'll call it a success. It takes off like a rocket though. Man, when you put this sucker in 4i, it really screams. Don't have any gauges, that concerns me a little bit. Like, I'd like to monitor EGTs and oil temperature, especially oil temperature on this thing. If you know, you know. Okay, so I think that concludes my 6.4 video. Like I said, I'm a fan of these. I mean, I know they got problems, you know, turbos going out and cracking pistons, but I mean, as little blow-by as this thing had and as good as it runs, I mean, I like it. I'm assuming it had some pretty awful, like probably like 12 or 14 wide, like chrome wheels on it. That's pretty popular down here. So, I don't know. I definitely like how it runs. I mean, it would, in 4 high on dry pavement, I mean, it would definitely surprise some people. Please, in the comments, let me know what you want to see, and I will do it. Let me know what I should do.